Thank you for staying with us. So, YK may be the oldest here, but she's the naughtiest. I have to tell you people. Anyway, for our hot topic today, this one I think is really going to spark a lot of conversation. So let's picture this, right? A wedding was planned and then cancelled 3 weeks ago, not because of cheating, not because of money, not even because of deep family secrets, but simply because the bride refused to call her fiance's 11-year-old niece Aunty. According to the mother-in-law, in her culture, from the age of 2 upwards, every niece and nephew must be addressed as Aunty or Uncle. The bride said no, insisting it was humiliation to address children she was much older than in that way. Her fiancé sided with his mother, and just like that, the marriage was called off. What are your thoughts? There are, a few conversations about how this is playing out. Is this about tradition? Is this about humiliation? Is this just like a test of power? Where should loyalty go to on the husband's side? Is it to his mother? Is it to his wife? And we'd like to hear your contributions as well. So you can call us on the numbers 0201-635-2013 or 090-241-63440. And you can also tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag TVC.
Yeah, so let me go first.
You'd like to jump in quickly?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
First of all, it's a cultural thing. Because when I came to Lagos and I mingled with some of the Yoruba people, it's usually very common with the Yoruba culture. So someone was telling me that as long as they don't give birth to a child while you are married to the family, any child being born once you join the family, before you join the family, you must call that child uncle or auntie. So this is a culture. But where I had to ask her, I was like, so if it's a baby, that as long as they didn't give birth to that child in front of her, when she comes to that family, she's going to address everybody and all of them as uncle and auntie. And I was like, but man, this is, So that 3-month-old baby, I think the baby's name, I can't remember the baby's name, but she was busy calling the baby auntie, this person, and I was like, baby is baby. You've already, made the baby look older than what they are and everything. I think there are some culture, there are some laws in some cultures that we need to abolish on our own. We don't necessarily have to keep on following it because, of course, me now that I'm coming from a different culture, coming to meet this kind of culture, I'm going to question it and I'll be like, it's not proper. So when somebody like that child that I'll be calling auntie, that child is supposed to come to me in case of anything. But the moment you put that auntie there, the child will not be able to come and come to me if in case the child has any issues later in life or anything, because the person will not look at it like I'm coming with all this my age, with my plenty age that I'm coming into the family. Then the 11-year-old child, when they have issues, they won't be able to come to me for anything because already they are feeling like they are the auntie in the family. So I think there are some culture that we really, really need to on our own, abolish on our own. And talking about the support coming from the husband, I think it's the husband that's supposed to draw the line when it comes to certain things like that.
Okay, we'll go into that, but let me just hear initial thoughts.
Well, I know because my father had 27 wives. They didn't do it with Femi, Sola, and I, because they didn't do it with Femi, Sola, and I. Their claim was we were Oyinbo children because they felt my mother was foreign. So they all called us by our names. But Kunle, who is my younger brother, they called Kunle Boda Kunle. The wives called, he was younger than most of them,
the
but
wives
they all called him Boda Kunle.
Okay.
Because they said he was born before
they were married.
They got married to Fela. Okay. So I know it exists, as to whether I can accept it, it's a bit difficult for me because I think, like Ramatu said, a 7-year-old or an 11-year-old, an old person should call her auntie or uncle, might be a bit, might give the child some entitlement mentality, feeling, look, I can talk to you
Anyhow.
After all,
because-
I'm your auntie.
Yes, because you're calling me auntie, because the child is calling older people auntie, and then an older person is calling me auntie. Man, if I were a child, I would be like, hey.
But YK, since you sort of experienced it in your personal life, did it carry any other weight or responsibility apart from the fact that you're just being called auntie? Was there any expectation that that child would act a certain way?
What it was they were giving the child the utmost respect, and the child was like, you couldn't tell us that. How can you tell off a child that you're calling?
So it came
brother?
with entitlements. Okay.
You cannot tell off a child
That you're already.
Yeah. So I do agree that maybe we need to tone down some of our cultural. I'm an advocate for culture.
Yes.
You know, this one it's a bit dicey.
Okay.
Because if I go and call a small child and the small child starts to tell me, hey, shut up there, I'm the one that has.
Well, that's what happens eventually. So the culture in Yoruba culture, seniority was not how it was determined. Is that about lineage? If you bring it to their trades angle, you know, we talk about the Igbo trades. Yoruba people too had how they did their trade. So who first come? Na senior. You understand? So if we are both learning tailoring, for instance, I might be a mother of 5, long married in my 40s, but when I come and I meet a younger person who's more skilled, I will give her, she's my senior in trade. Okay. So that's how they look at it, that in this family, you're by marriage, you're a younger member of the family as compared to the children born before you came in. And so you were compelled to give them that difference. But over the years, what it showed is that it disempowered the elder. So you now, if you cannot call the child by their first name, how do you reprimand the child?
Yes.
And yet, family expects you to do that balance. There will now be a lot of eye service for women who want to sit down in Lioko, Kaleje, Jeunlioko, you know. They will now have to be, you know, pretending the child is annoying you. Because my sister, when she married into the Yoruba culture, was the first in our family. And I remember her, she had gone for the first celebration of Eid with them. And she called on the phone, she was crying. My father was crying. I said, what happened? My father said, I told you people, I don't know these people's culture. What happened? The girl, when she got married, before the Eid would come, they have spent at least 4 months in Lagos. There was a young girl she met in her husband's house who moved in with her, and you know, they became friends. They had bonded, they were friends. But she calls the girl by first name. The girl didn't object, and so they went for family events. And then she was cooking and said, called her by first name first time, called her the second time, so those mamas them, they observe. They now watched her to correct her because the husband is exposed. They watched him, let him follow the men to one event. And so they then summoned her. You know, she thought she didn't do nothing. She wasn't expecting. And we were idols. Okay. And everybody in my own place is sister, brother. Okay. It means we were respectful of link. So you're from my town, you speak the same language. You're from my family compound. If my younger ones, my elder ones, when they speak to me on the phone, sister, sister, sister. Okay. So I do brother. You know, just our own is different. So the culture shock happened because my sister was made to kneel down. All the women gathered. They were now asking that she should name all the children. They called the children. Which one were you there when they named them? Oh, wow. You know, it was like that. And my sister was shocked. As in, the moment she left that place, she called my dad. She was crying on the phone. My father too was crying that, see, the place is fine. I cannot even go there to do anything. And so, but funnily, my sister should be almost 20 years now. She should be 20 years married to that family. All those children lived with her. They lived with her. And so I don't see the serving, I don't see how that culture served them, because for her to be a mother to them, because that's what she would become. They were babies. There were some who were practically babies. One of them comes to do my hair. He was a toddler. He was breastfeeding when they married my sister. And she had to love them, raise them. If she continued to say brother, uncle, and the child becomes rude, if you try for people, the child will be rude. They will be rude.
But I want to ask, does it mean when that happens, is it just a way of maybe just testing your humility, and then after you stayed in that family for a while, you know, everybody forgets and you just move on? I just want to understand, because if you say that the relationship eventually evolves, maybe it's not something that they expect you to do forever, but when you come in, you don't show that you even respect this culture in our family.
If it's a culture you don't know, is that how to even tell you? Is this to gather you and tell you?
Yeah.
Someone, at least another, would have been telling you that, call her, this is how we call her, so that you can object. Because I remember when I got married, everybody that is younger than me of my age mate is their name. And it's not rudeness. Because difference, as in difference in respect, is different from servitude. What this culture promotes that I've seen is a lot of servitude. And you're looking at a 4-year-old, my Imran size, for instance, and say, how about that Imran?
Yeah.
Even me, I would have told as your auntie, what, you want to kill him? Because it will be funny. Okay. Because if the child now misbehaves, exactly what are you supposed to do? And over the years, I've seen marriage, although for my sister, it changed quickly because when she came back, we say, what you know if you do no start them, no join them. You know?
So there has to be a way to also handle it.
There's a way to handle.
Let's go on a short break and we'll come back. We'll dig deeper into this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. We're still looking at this conversation about calling younger ones auntie or family culture. But I want to ask you, this lady, didn't she overreact? Because I've seen a lot of people call pastors daddy. I mean, you get upset that you cannot call an 11-year-old auntie because it's not part of your culture. And yet you go off to church and there's this pastor who is much younger than your husband, and he's daddy, and you serve him, and you do this. So it's not a culture that you really hate. It's just that you want to determine whether you should do it or not. So really, are we just being hypocritical here? Since it's a culture that we seem to use when it benefits us.
I want to read Mount Rushmore's message. He says, my wife calls my younger ones brother this, sister that. Nobody compelled her to do that, and they respect her a whole lot. So he is saying,
it's not always abusive.
That it's not always an entitlement mentality, that they still respect her, even though she calls them. And she is probably from a very cultured
home. So somewhere she's used to.
Where she's used to doing it. But someone that is just coming in, may find it very strange. I should call the 11-year-old brother.
Maybe she's also
but that's my own.
Maybe Mount Rushmore's. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe they're from the same culture. The Yoruba women who marry into Yoruba families know how to handle it.
So before Nima gets in, because I know she's about to give us some Yoruba angles. Ibrahim has called us. Good morning, Ibrahim.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah. I want to contribute to the program.
Please go ahead.
Okay. You know what? Now I'm over 50 years now, and when we were small, in our house, our wives used to, not by brother or by what, but they used to call us Akowe, Indileke, and this and that. It's our tradition. Okay. Let me give you an example. As a boss, you are 20-year-old, and you have a subordinate that is about 50-year-old. They dare not call you by name because they will lose their job. Even you will call them by their own name.
Okay.
Why? Because you are the senior in that department. That was how it reflected in the family. Those children are the senior in the house. That was why these days you will see a child that comes to a stranger's house. They dare not greet you. They will just come in, sir, please, I'm looking for so-so. And you ask them, are you mad? Don't your parents taught you morality? How to greet elders? It's our tradition. And we need to keep to that. If we don't keep to that, we will continue having problems in Nigeria. So everybody has their own tradition. The Igbos, I'm a Yoruba man, I'm from Ijebu. So everybody has their own tradition. Even Hausa will call their elders by their name.
They don't call their sons.
Aisha, their grandmother, their grandpa, they will call Usman. So Igbos knows how to do their.
We lost Ibrahim. You were going to say.
I was going to say that the Yoruba women who are from Yoruba, who are accustomed to this culture, know how to do it. Even when they do the auntie, the uncle, there's still firmness attached to it. So it's just a name, not to, there's still firmness. But for those who want to avoid it, one of the tricks that he did is just as it says, you call them pet names. So when you come, there's one time I dated a Yoruba boy. Back then, he had a cousin living with him.
Small, you'll be releasing your secrets.
No,
They go.
Our dating was not that kind of dating. So that's why I would say. Somebody has asked me for my hand, and I had said, okay.
Yeah.
But we're just, So whenever the cousin comes to see me, instead of calling her Aisha, I used to call her Portable because she was just so petite. So because the mother had mentioned that you have to call her, I said, and I did it so she will know because I won't do it. I won't call that name. So you find a pet name for them. You find an endearment for them because it's culture thing. Imran is Laolu's son by fosterhood, and she has started having grandkids.
Okay.
And Imran baby was about 3 or 4 years old when her first grandchild was born. No, it was four when her first grandchild was born. I remember once the girl started talking, she would say, Bode Embo, Bode Abolu, because she calls him Bolu. She will insist they call him brother. And I'll be like, brother Tani, see them, they're both age mates now.
Okay.
But that's the culture and the beauty of it. It's just to show this is your big brother.
Well, there's something.
So I want to correct the caller where he said that the Hausa people, the elder ones, that we call them by names. It's not always true. We don't call our elder ones by name. We call them, like Kau. Kau is uncle. Kau, this person, and Aunty. We do it. We do it like that. And then most times we usually, and sometimes you may hear a name. Most of these names are given maybe if you were born on a Monday, on a Tuesday, maybe like Enjuma. Enjuma, you can call Enjuma because this is just somebody who was born on a Friday. You understand? If it is maybe on a Monday, like for a lady, you say Lantana, you can call those names directly because it's like days of the week. So it can be for an elder person or a younger person.
It's more like a sign of respect.
Yeah, so that's just it. So it's not like we can't put Aunty or Kau, Enjuma or something like that. We'll just call the person.
There's something
Enjuma.
also that I learned from a Fulani help that used to work with us. We'll get into that after I take a call from Shola. Good morning, Shola.
Hello, good morning, Shola. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
We can hear you, Shola. Please, go ahead.
Good morning. I'm calling from Ikodo. Okay. Let me just add to what Mr. Ibrahim said.
Okay.
Okay, let me add to what Mr. Ibrahim said.
Stop listening to your TV.
I don't want to talk. Let her just, if you keep talking.
Okay, in Yoruba land, what I know is you don't have to call the younger person as a wife. You don't have to call them by name. You don't have to call them by name. Yep.
Oh, Shola. Yes. You were saying, okay, I was
I
telling
think
you.
you should tell them to turn down their TV because the feedback, you will not know that.
So sometimes you see I stay quiet because the more you talk, the more it confuses them. So if you stay silent, they'll just continue.
But you see, the thing is, they are still hearing themselves. Even if you stay quiet.
But I was going to say, just before the call, I know that Fulanis don't call their first sons by their names. I learned it from her. She said they can't call them by their names. So you have to give them an endearment, a pet name, to be able to do that. So in Africa or in Nigeria, we seem to have that thing where name. So for me, I feel like it's the name that
Fulani one, I think they call their first sons like brother.
No, you can't just call them by their
name.
What is?
So we had Fulani family friend, and the first son was Jemilu.
Okay.
But the mother had to call him I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I think there's a word that she calls him and it sounds like brother. She doesn't use his first name and she's his mom. And I found it strange, but it was a beautiful culture.
I'm just saying that, this is our culture. And sometimes, because we want to be modern, how dare I? It can never happen. And I find that we don't question Western culture. It's so easy for us to question our culture. I was wondering, I was hoping either you or YK would give us, maybe there's a history, behind this, calling a younger person not calling a younger person by their name or giving a younger person that respect of saying auntie or uncle. Because as I've heard everyone says, it does not really mean that they are entitled to lord over you. depending on how you carry yourself.
So a wife is an addition to a family upon marriage. The family existed, and you're supposed to revere your in-laws, your family that you have come into, and so show that, you know, the Yoruba people are premium on respect, give rest. They are premium on these things. They hold it with their entire pride. Because my auntie had a master's done and a very flourishing career when she got married. But as big and huge as she was, she loved it. She, as an Egba woman, loved the kneeling down. She would now compare me to, you know, those kind of things. So the title of my father-in-law, my baboko, yokomi, you know, the little children, you can, even the children, generally, when you want to call them, you're older than them, but to call them as a group, you just, I want your committee, you know, my in-laws, you know, reverence, you know, respecting the lineages of the children that you met in the, how do you go about respecting them? So it's just something that if you have accepted it, you won't actually see it as something that disempowers you as an elder.
Yeah.
You will see it as something that, you know, is inclusive, has made you inclusive, and how to love them, how to, you know, to belong with them.
So that's why I
over time, but there are abuses.
Yeah, it's okay.
There
But
are
I was going to
abuses
ask
of
the
it.
question, was that enough to just end a
So
marriage?
you as, you know, in those days where women
Sorry.
were, okay,
Before
go
you
on.
go in, Temi from Ikoyi is calling us this morning. Good morning, Temi. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
We can hear
Yes,
you,
we can.
Temi. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, so this topic doesn't really apply to just women alone.
Okay.
It also applies to me as a guy. So I'm telling you my personal experience. I'm not going to mention his name because I know he's going to be watching. I come from a royal family, and coincidentally, my granddad had 8 wives, and my so-called uncle was 9 years younger than me. We went for a family event, and that was the first time I met him. So I saw him, and I was still rubbing his head. I didn't know he was my uncle because he's my granddad's last son. So I was rubbing his head, and they said, your uncle alone for all that. I looked at him like, I'm older than this one now. The next thing they said I should prostrate for him. I said,
Obalola.
this one I'm 9 years older than. I was there when they did his naming ceremony, because looking back, I was there. So the whole elders, my mom, my uncles told me, prostrate. I was so angry. I prostrated, I greeted him.
Wow.
Then one time we were playing football, I took him to one corner and I dealt with him very well. We want to collect the ballet. But now we're all cool.
Okay.
We see him, we laugh, we do all sorts. But for the lady's marriage that was cancelled, I think both mother-in-law and the lady, they were both wrong. Because one, something like that, it's all about delivery. If the mother-in-law had corrected her in a different way, maybe called her aside and said, in our family, we do it this way. Maybe she chastised her in a way that wasn't good. Then secondly, the lady that lost the whole wedding or marriage thing, you should also understand that diplomacy is the way. If you're getting to a family or they're coming to your family, you can just say, okay, you're going to be diplomatic. That same person that's saying, call auntie, pull her closer, and at the end of the day, you won't need all of this. But I just think it's a simple message of wrong delivery and timing. Thank you.
Thank you, Temi, for your contribution.
Well, that's the
Yes.
beginning of-
Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with our conversation. Please stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. Ladies, let's, wrap up on this topic. And I would like us to wrap up by, talking about how this marriage ended just because of this. Could there have been another way to have handled this diplomatically, or she was just right to walk away when she did?
I think it's okay for her to walk away, because I don't know how it must have been put to her or something, but I think she has seen the future, that there are some of the cultural this thing that she's going to see, and she may not be able to take care of it. You see, this Gen Z, they are not going to take anything. So once they see that something is already becoming a problem, they rather exit. They will not even try to be diplomatic or try to put in the eye service into it to make it work. They will not do that.
What do you think?
I think, if she had seen that this cannot work, I don't like the rapport I have with my mother-in-law to be, then maybe. But I think it's something that could have been settled diplomatically if she really loved the guy and he loved her. I think they could have settled diplomatically, because let's be honest. The respect is important too. I'm not saying go and be respecting
11 years old.
Dobale for an 11-year-old child. I'm just saying I do appreciate that culture of giving respect to your elder ones. Or look, my driver or my former driver, because I was older than him, but I never called him by name. I called him Mr. Whoever. Why? Because I felt that he was not a young man, had wife and children, maybe grandchildren, God stuff, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know the ego of the Yoruba man, it doesn't how women, so I just give him Mr. Whoever. Because it's actually important to give people that respect, to show people regard. It's not even respect, it's just to show regard for whoever, even if they're working for you. I know that sometimes we Yoruba can carry it to the limit because I know someone. She was as she's calling her auntie. The other one is replying auntie. Auntie grandma too. That was auntie Jenny. They will always be auntying themselves.
Yeah.
That one I find a bit.
I'm happy that you raised that because I remember one time when I just moved back, to Lagos. I went somewhere and someone who was clearly older than me kept calling me auntie. Now I'm used to it. I was like, there's something wrong with my face. I was worried until finally I figured, okay, it's just a thing. Yes, the name please.
So I think that the girl didn't apply wisdom because there's no culture that you go to in the world that you don't get your shocks. Except you want to, even me that I married from my culture, I learned so I got shocked. As soon as I had my daughter, I got pregnant.
There are new things.
Shock. Because they started opening up all the cultural things for me. So there's no place that you go that you don't find their culture applying. I think that, she should have, if she loved the guy, truly, had a conversation about it. And then, ask people who have lived through it. There's no big deal there. I told you about my auntie. I saw my auntie kneeling down as of habit. I found this strange. It wasn't something I could do, but I found this strange. And when you love a people over time, you know how to deal with them. Their culture is their culture, and how they do it is. If she was married in our own Benin culture, for instance, my mother's family and my mother-in-law's family are the royals. Even if they want to come and marry a Yoruba girl, they will never prostrate at that wedding. Their head made a touch ground. So how do you knock such a child? What do you do? You see Temi's case, it reminded me, I have two younger uncles, my grandfather's children. They call me sister and I call them by name. So these dynamics are different. They play in different ways. I think that she was just too quick. When you go, when you go see a bit of drama. So God will help her.
Well, what would you say the role of the man was? I
think he played his role.
No, I think he should have been the glue that he could have brought the two.
I think he did it.
No,
my mother has said this. This is our culture in our house. So that they don't start fighting all the way.
Said it to him, to her in front of him, and then he took her side, his mother's side. The wife would just look and say, from now. But that kind of thing, just say, come. This is how we do it here.
Yes,
if you don't want to call her, then just be saying,
find someone with him to call her.
Or
fine girl, hello baby. If she's just giving her hello baby.
I like that.
He could have explained it. Because what if the girl was an Igbo girl? She would never understand.
Yes.
Because they don't do it. It's not their culture. So it's you. If you love her, like you explain to her.
You know what Dwight is saying? It's important that while you're dating and talking sweet nothings, please add all those your cultural differences in your conversation. Let that lady know that in our house, we say this, and explain to her how that will come about. Because I can't believe that she must have just met that family for the first time 3 weeks before the wedding when it was called off. She must have met them over time. Why was that not, explained to her over the course of the relationship.
It's like she was already going to. Her mind will not do again.
All right.
Then there are things that we should learn, but there are some culture that we shouldn't really follow.
Yeah.
In fact,
Thank you. I think I have learned a few lessons from this. At first I was going to say, just walk away. What does this mean? But definitely wisdom and diplomacy is needed. Thank you, ladies, for this conversation. And
Can I read one message?
yes, quickly.
My
you can.
Freshman says, even Offset, I trust your view when one call at the Kuti YK.
Asa says it's not a thing. It's not just
That's the
a
last
thing in
one?
Yoruba land, to be honest.
Okay.
It's not a big deal.
Okay.
I call teenagers in my estate auntie, brother. It doesn't stop me from treating their nonsense.
Okay, then.
Thank you. No, sorry. That's all we can take on the segments. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we have a special feature. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.